vaguely at the rich woman, but to his surprise, the woman turned around and went for her gun. The other poor people sitting in the doorway were so scared that they ran away and got in their car to escape. The woman was already holding the gun and aiming it at the boy in the car, but the woman didn't pull the trigger, so the boy escaped with his life. At night, a group of rich men found the boy's house and took him away, and when the women realized it was the boy who had whistled, they immediately lynched him. When the mother saw the boy again, he was a disfigured corpse. The boy's name was Bobby, and he grew up in an ordinary home where his mother was a clerk in an Air Force office and his father was killed in the war. But it was the lack of a father's love that caused his mother to spoil Bobby from an early age, and it was this mother's love that made Bobby grow up not knowing what was good for him until one summer vacation when his mother decided to send him to play with his cousins. And when Bobby found out he was going to the country, Bobby was overjoyed. Before he left, his mother told him that the South was very different from the North, and that he had to respect the rich people there. But he went in one ear and out the other, and made funny gestures to tease his mother. But in his mother's eyes, she just thought her son was more adorable. Bobby boarded a train for the South with his mother to see him off, but she could never have imagined that this separation would be the last for both mother and son. Soon after arriving at his cousin's house, he followed into the fields to pick cotton, but he was a city boy who didn't know how to pick any cotton. Everyone was working hard, except Bobby, who was lazy. In search of happiness, he either swatted mosquitoes or played dead in the cotton field. Cousin was so frightened that he rushed to check on him, but the next moment he was up again with a big smile on his face. Soon after the labor was over, Bobby followed his cousin to the neighborhood store, which was owned by a rich woman. Bobby saw that she was very good looking, so he complimented the woman, and then Bobby took out his wallet with pictures of celebrities and showed them to the woman. But Bobby did not realize that the woman's face had changed drastically. Cousin saw this and pulled Bobby out of the store, but just as they were about to leave, Bobby stopped and turned around and licked his lips, unexpectedly whistling to the woman behind him. The woman froze in the face of the poor man's advances, as did all the poor people playing in front of the store. At this moment, Bobby saw that the atmosphere was not right, so he looked at his cousin with a questioning look, but his cousin was more concerned about the woman's reaction. But the woman turned around and was about to reach for her gun. The poor people were so scared that they ran away, but as soon as they got into the car, the woman pointed the gun at them from the back of the car, but luckily she didn't pull the trigger. When he got home, his cousin told Bobby not to mess with the rich or he'd end up dead, but Bobby didn't take it seriously until the night. Bobby's cousin was too worried to sleep because after decades of living in the South he knew there was no good in messing with the rich. Sure enough, late at night, a group of rich men broke into the cousin's house and found Bobby, who was then taken by force by the rich man. But no matter how much he begged for mercy, the poor man was no longer a human being in the eyes of the rich. Bobby was then crushed into an automobile and his fate was sealed when a woman